The emergence of redshirt freshman Cutter Boley for the Kentucky Wildcats football team in their victory against Eastern Michigan this past weekend opened up just as many questions as it did answers for the Big Blue faithful. We need to figure out, what does Big Blue Nation want in the end? What's cooking? Welcome back into another edition of Now We Can Talk Like Fans on ESPN Louisville Plus. My name is Justin Sofro, and real quick, I'm obviously going to ask you to do the normal things. Smash the freaking like button, hit the subscribe button if you haven't already. Please go to both YouTube channels, the Now We Can Talk Like Fans YouTube channel and the ESPN Louisville Plus YouTube channel, and make sure you're subscribed to both so that way you can stay up to date to all the things that we're going to put out. We have regular updates, and we have regular shorts and reels and things like that that go out, updating you on the different topics, different interviews, different funny moments from the station on ESPN Louisville Plus, as well as we're going to have some separate different things on the Now We Can Talk Like Fans channel, where maybe we can bring on some other fans, people that wouldn't really, maybe wouldn't be up to snuff to be on the ESPN Louisville Plus channel. Just come on over there. We'll talk cards, cats as friends, I guess. And this is really a place where that's the goal. The community aspect. The goal here is University of Louisville fans, University of Kentucky fans, everybody in between coming together and talking somewhat civilly, I guess, about your favorite sports teams. And I say that a little tongue in cheek, obviously, given we got James Streeble and people like that that I played on the show yesterday. So anyway, if you haven't already, do me a favor, smash the like button. There's a link right up here in the QR code to go to the other channel as well. So we'll get into it. And now, without any further ado, the topic of Cutter Boley and the performance that he gave against Eastern Michigan. Obviously enthralled, excited. I heard TJ Walker and people and Zach Cantrell and everybody loving up some Boley boys. And I'm not saying that Cutter Boley is the perfect quarterback. I think he still had a quarterback rating of 41.87 or something like that. He was a fine quarterback that day. He did do something, though, for Kentucky fans, and that is building up some kind of confidence in the leadership on their offense. That's one of the things that you can't say you ever got from Zach Calzada. In the 2 games that he played, he has been a bust. It's over. It's done. 7 years too long for college. We don't need Van Wilder out there playing football, unless maybe we're talking about Case and Pryor in basketball. Maybe we need Van Wilder on that side. One of the strengths of what we witnessed with Cutter Boley, though, was situational awareness and being able to make some of those deep throws that you just hope to rely on in a college quarterback. Most importantly, Cutter Boley has potential. He gives you the potential to dream about maybe the difference and the changing of what this season can mean for the Kentucky football program. And I swear when I say this, I'm not joking. I'm actually being 100% serious. While University of Kentucky went into the season with very low expectations, at least the fan base did, most of the fans were ready to move on after last season. It was time to move on from Mark Stoops. The flirtations with the Texas A&M situation and all that, just like with Louisville and Scott Satterfield, they were ready, they're done, they want the next guy. But now you kind of have a little bit of a chance to maybe dream, maybe hope that this season can be something different. Now, if you have a guy who is a reliable quarterback and can put together some bit of a possibility to go out there and compete. I look at the schedule now. I look over, you watch the SEC, and while the SEC is still the crown jewel of college football, Phyllis, don't come at me. But at the same time, it's not an unbeatable situation. There are many teams that do not look as good as I had expected going into the season, especially Beamer Jr. over there at South Carolina. And while he has pretty comfortably handled Mark Stoops in Kentucky, they are anything but unbeatable. And I think Kentucky very well can go down there and pull out a victory. So if you look at the schedule and the rest that they have, yes, there is that daunting stretch of you're probably not going to win those games. The Georgia, the Texas, the Tennessee, and then you get to the Auburn. I'm sorry, Georgia, Texas, Tennessee. Let's move on from there. Texas, yes, they got the quarterback issues a little bit. Maybe Arch Manning never figures it out. But for now, I'm just going to say that even and as well, Georgia, Kirby Smart loves him some Mark Stoops. He always goes easy on he powders that booty. He didn't just paddle it. He powders it. He creams it up. He does all that. But Georgia, Texas, and then Tennessee, I just don't see those games happening. Though for some reason, Stoops lately with Tennessee, that wouldn't surprise me. Auburn is the first one there, and while they're the top 25 team right now, I have no confidence that Auburn is going to be the program that we have grown up in knowing. I expect it to be the program we've seen as of late, which has been very competitive with Kentucky. They're about eye and eye lately when they've been competing outside of, for some reason, Kentucky's been dominating their rivalry as well until just now. So maybe they're pretty. I was about to say that Auburn is at least competitive in their rivalry, but you know, yeah, that would have been a misstep. Anyway, Auburn's a game that Kentucky can win. Then you go down or you go back home and you play Florida, and Florida looks abysmal. And maybe Billy Naps does the thing he does at the end of the year where he puts it together enough to look respectable as a coach, but that ain't going to be enough to fly for Florida moving into another season. But that ain't going to be enough for Florida moving into another season. They're going to have to move on from him, probably looking at Lane Kiffin. Anyway, and then to wrap up the season, Tennessee Tech, give me game. Then you finish it off, Vanderbilt and Louisville. And Cutter Boley, you got a mom that you can offer up to Theo Vaughn. I still don't understand how that situation worked out, but it did. Anyway, and then obviously playing Louisville there at the end. Stoops seems to get up for that game. Even though he rolled over last year, we'll see. Maybe this is his way of redemption. And Louisville doesn't look unbeatable as of yet. We'll see if they make a change against Bowling Green State this weekend. Say Kentucky can somehow win 6 games, get back to a bowl game. Is that what Big Blue Nation wants at this point? We've talked about it recently too. Is 6 or 7? Is 7 wins okay? Like, and especially when I say this, one of the reasons I even bring this up is to throw it to these comments made by one Dabo Swinney. And it was interesting to me because Andy Sweeney on the take, 12-3, every Monday through Friday on ESPN Louisville at 680, 105.7, and on the ESPN Louisville app. Make sure you go check it out there. But he brought up the sound by Dabo Swinney. And it was him talking to the Clemson faithful, I guess, to the administration, to everybody out there, fighting for his job, fighting for his station in life. And obviously I understand some of the things he's going to say Kentucky cannot relate to. Louisville cannot relate to. They have not won 8 out of 10, conference championships. They haven't won a national title at all. But if you want to recalibrate it for the here and now, there's some of that makes me wonder, makes me think, what do you really want, BBN fans? Let me play the sound, and then we'll talk about it right after. Let me go through to it now.
If they tired of winning, they can send me on their way because that's all we've done is win. So if they tired of winning, we've won this league 8 out of the last 10 years. Is that not good? I'm just asking, is that good? I don't know if that's good or not. To win your league 8 out of 10 years, to go to the playoffs 7 out of 10 years, to be in 4 national championships, win it twice. Yeah, we're a little down right now. Take your shots, but I got a long memory in case y'all don't know. We'll be all right. We'll bounce back. And hey, listen, if Clemson's tired of winning, they can send me on my way, but I'm going to go somewhere else and coach. I ain't going to the beach. Hell, I'm 55. I got a long way to go. Y'all going to have to deal with me for a while. I got a long way to go. I'm just getting going. I'm just now good enough to be a head coach. I'm just now figuring it out. So we'll be around a while. Let's hang in there.
And to that sound, Andy brought up some of the best points I've heard in a long time, commenting on what we thought about Clemson football before Dabo really took off, where he took it to this next pinnacle, the level for their program, winning 2 national titles in the last 10, however many years it's been, being 8 out of 10 conference champions. We made fun. We laughed. We, Clemsoning was a verb. We made fun of Clemson for years. For how long? How long were they the laughing stock of the ACC? Because, I remember Kentucky football beating Clemson multiple times. I remember these games. So it's one of those things that's funny, and it makes me kind of look back at this and then kind of recalibrate. If I'm a Kentucky fan, if I'm a Kentucky football fan, it's real easy. It's really easy. Sorry, serious camera. Serious camera time. And Kentucky fans, you can let me have it at this. I get it. You're not going to be happy about it. But if I'm a Kentucky football fan, and I lived through the years, I understand he's been there for a very long time now. As a Louisville fan, I don't understand it. I don't understand what it feels like to have a coach for over a decade. For a guy who's been there comfortably and hasn't left, hasn't got the itch to leave for a better job at all, like, until it seemed like he wasn't going to, be panning out any longer here. It's one of those situations where I'm wondering if I'm BBN, if I'm an old school Kentucky fan, if I've been here for a long time, I'm not Gen Z, right? If I'm a Kentucky fan and I'm looking at what this program has been, outside of a couple spurts with Rich Brooks and I guess Bear Bryant back in the old days, Kentucky football's been nothing. There's been nothing to cheer about for Kentucky football. Making a bowl game seemed almost incomprehensible. It was 2-10 year in and year out. There were jokes and memes about the players that used to come in through here. There were jokes about just what Kentucky football is. There wasn't even talks about like we're part of SEC. We're the SEC. That never happened. So it does make me wonder. It does make me think a little bit of, sometimes value what you have. And I understand. Yeah, and there are a lot of people that are going to disagree with me, and that's fine. But I just wonder what happened. What if your boy Tulane doesn't come up here? What if Summerall doesn't want Kentucky, and it probably seems like he's probably going to go somewhere else? Maybe he's at Duke next year, maybe he's at North Carolina when Belichick realizes this ain't for him. What does Kentucky do? What do BBN do when you go and get the next bum coach, the next Joker Phillips? You know what I mean? Like, what happens then? Are you just gonna sit here, twiddling your thumbs? I understand you got SEC money, so everybody's just gonna come, bow to come coach at your school and your team. That's one of those things that I just don't. I don't know. I feel like sometimes we just need to have appreciation. Okay, I'm done. Okay, that was mostly a joke. I get it. There is some truth to that, in those feelings of like, maybe you should kind of appreciate what you have, as long as he's going 7-5. As long as he keeps it at 7-5 and above. I get it. When UK lost, when you have 4 and 8 seasons, it's hard to do that. I tried for as long as I could. I tried. But honestly, it is at least a thought in the back of my mind. UK football was a laughingstock before he came in here. And Mark Stoops has done a lot of great things. And I understand he's gotten paid very handsomely for those things. And he's done some lesser things too. things that have frustrated and upset people. So I get it. You're fine and you're in, I know I'm doing the fence sitting thing a little bit, where I'm saying you're right and you're wrong, but you're right and you're wrong. I just wonder, Kentucky fans, if this thing how do you want the season to go? Do you want Cutter Boley to come in, win you 6 games or whatever? Papa Mitch is going to be happy and hug up his boy, and Mark Stoops keeps going for as long as he can until that well dries out? Or are we going to be looking here saying, I wish we just had Zach just suck it up for the rest of the season, so that way just Calzada get out there, give us a miserable year, and then we give us a reason to fire him. Fire his ass now. I don't know. Let me know your thoughts and opinions in the comment section down below. Don't be too mad at me. I get it. I understand why you're ready to move on, and I understand that you're probably correct to want to move on. You're about 80, 90% correct. But there's still that tiny bit that wonders, what if? What happens if Kentucky football just goes back into the dumpster? That's what I wonder. Anyway, let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below. If you haven't already, do me a solid favor. Smash that freaking like button, hit the subscribe button, hit that bell icon to stay notified for all of our latest videos. I'm trying to put these out pretty regularly now, so if you could do all that. Without any further ado, I'm Justin Sofro. Cards, Cats, Bourbon, and Bluegrass. I'll see y'all next time.